Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Jessica Gem here with a new video for you. Welcome to part number 1 of What If Deku Never Returned to UA. A quick heads up, this What If may have spoilers for the more recent seasons, so if you aren't fully caught up, you've now been warned. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. The cold wind through the air sends her hair whipping back as she walks towards Heights Alliance. Classes had let out early, as they have been for the past 3 weeks. It's been up to her to get in the physical training that would usually be included in their hero courses. Unfortunately, ever since the incident, their classes were forced to be shortened to strictly textbook education. There simply aren't enough hero course teachers to keep the classes functioning. Instead, they were given a certain quota that they were to meet each day when it came to training, a few hours at the minimum. There were also tips and half lessons sent out at the beginning of each week in order to give the classes something to focus on during their training. It felt forced. She couldn't really blame the school. Over half the teaching staff were assigned to neighborhoods throughout the area whilst the school day was occurring. Some of the teachers had resigned and moved abroad. They were understaffed. And even with proper staffing, there simply were better things to worry about than making sure the hero course students understood the specifics of hero law. They needed to make sacrifices when it came to prioritizing their education, and really, Ochako felt it hardly mattered anyway. They are practically heroes already. It doesn't feel like they have much else left to learn. After the Paranormal Liberation Warfront attack, the cracks in their hero society had finally begun to break and crumble. The destruction from Gigantomachia killed tens of thousands and destroyed upwards of 19 cities. All for One and Tomura Shigaraki have escaped and continue to wreak havoc across the country. Last she heard, nearly every high-security prison had been broken open. Villains were scouring the streets. Civilians, both good and bad, are taking action into their own hands, and heroes are either stepping up or leaving the responsibility altogether. Swiping her card to open the door, she swings her body into the glass and pushes it into their dormitory. The card system is new, something Nezu had the support course, or what was left of it, whip up for the students for their safety. It was probably an attempt to convince their parents that their children were safe living in the dorms, while they stayed in the evacuation shelters. Not that it would help much, really. Toga Himiko is still out there. Well, a lot of villains are currently out there, but Toga could masquerade as any of them, which could lead to something absolutely terrible. Her mind lingers on Toga and what she has seen during the war as she kicks off her shoes and makes her way into the barren common room. What does it mean to be a hero? The question has been hard stuck in her mind for a while now. The picture of Toga's crying eyes as she ran away flashes in her mind, and the scene of heroes leaving people to die, lost and afraid themselves, still hasn't faded. Can she even consider those people heroes? Were they in it for any good reason in the first place? Like she could talk. She was finding it hard to call herself a hero lately. But that's just it. What does it even mean to be a hero anymore? Is it anyone who continues to fight even after the collapse? Or is it only a select few, like All Might, like Deku? Stain's ideology flashes through her mind, and against her better judgment, the idea of there being some element of truth within his madness tests her resolve. His insane belief system has been sounding less and less insane as time goes on. Ochako herself started off wanting to be a hero for the money. Eventually, she focused her goal on saving people and other heroes, but she never lost her original drive. She still wanted to support her family and make enough money so they could live comfortable lives. When she first became a hero, that's what she wanted. And she wanted to be a hero, admittedly, because she didn't see the danger in it whatsoever. The crime rate was lower than ever. It was technically a government job, so she would get benefits and a very comfortable income. There were no downsides, at least in her young mind. All it would take was a little bit of hard work, and she would have her dream life. She could help people, and in turn, her parents have a comfortable life. She often thinks of what her life would be if she hadn't decided to be a hero. If instead, she forced her parents to let her work for the company, use her quirk to their advantage. Would she also be in mainland China right now, helping with their high-profile job? And if she had done that, would that make her more of a hero? Helping her parents directly, rather than trying to chase a dream for some greater noble cause. How would things change if she hadn't gone to UA? If she had to choose, she wouldn't want to be in China with them right now. If anything, she's realized over the past weeks, it's that she wants more than anything to save others, to help them, to use her own ability to put herself in front of danger. It started with her parents. She became a hero to try and save them from their financial burden. But even more so now, it's everyone, civilians and heroes alike. She wants to save them all. But what about the villains? Her body had been frozen in the kitchen for quite a while now. The same thought that had been keeping her ability to smile under lock kept her in place. What does it mean to be a hero? Heroes save people. She thinks of Deku. In her eyes, he is a true hero. Saving everyone at any cost is who he is as a person, even with the consequences that come with that. He jumps at the chance to save every person he sees from any type of evil they face. But if heroes save people, does that mean heroes save villains too? She thinks back to the letters he left the class with. Each of their letters was different. She opted not to share hers with the others. It felt too personal, and she hadn't wanted to break the trust she built with Izuku. And really, she doesn't know if he intended for anyone else to read what he had told her. Izuku. He had rambled on and on about how she was his first friend since he was a small child, how he wouldn't have had the strength to change the meaning of the name Deku without her words, how he hadn't thought anyone at UA would have been nice to him until he met her, and suddenly, he felt as if he wasn't alone anymore. And then he talked about Shigaraki, how he felt conflicted about his existence, how he saw him, and even through the anger and rage, felt the need to save him. He talked about how he could never forgive him for what he's done, but deep down feels that there's something inside of Shigaraki that could be saved and protected. He had wanted to kill Shigaraki, and something inside of him still does, but he wants to try. And that alone breaks Ochako. She knows exactly how he feels. She feels the same way with Toga. The darkening reality that there is nothing that could take away or make up for what Toga has done, and yet the overwhelming feeling that she too deserves to be saved. That in the beginning, at least, she too was a victim. It's eaten away at her, but finding that connection with Izuku had made her feel less insane and twisted inside. She wishes that she could talk to him right now. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN allows you to change your IP address, making it harder to track and securing your privacy. In addition to providing safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services like Disney+. If you're from the United States, you won't be able to watch any of the MCU and Sony Spider-Man movies, but by switching your location to Japan, you can access them whenever you want. Check out the link in the description to get 3 extra months when you purchase the 12-month subscription plan that costs $99.99 a year. This deal is for a limited time, and thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Uraraka. A calm, somewhat raspy voice calls from behind her. Are you all right? She turns to find Todoroki standing with his arms flat at his sides. Fresh burn scars wrap his neck and face. It's almost as if his previous scar had enlarged down around his neck. His fight with Dabi and Shigaraki was rough, and her not being there is yet another source of her grief. It made him look older, though. and it also made him seem even more troubled than he was before the sports festival. He too has been dealing with his grief. She couldn't imagine what it would be like if her family was at the center of this mess.
Yeah, I'm fine, Todoroki. Thanks,
she assured, not even believing her own voice as it trembles with each word. The war had been tough, in more ways than one. Thousands of civilian and hero casualties, countless miles of damage. Cities were all but destroyed, homes burnt to the ground, rioting in the streets, and an uptick of heteromorph violence as well. The agony has gone on for so long, it seems never-ending. But really, it's been a month. A month since she's seen him smile. A month since she's seen him. A month since she's seen Izuku. Well, she sees him all the time, actually. The Shrouded Rabbit is what some are calling him. Others refer to him as a hero donning the aura of a villain. He appears all over social media nearly every hour. The legend, as it goes, is a towering wave of smoke will fill the streets of the city, and within minutes the rogue villains are dealt with. First-hand accounts claiming the figure is covered in scars, blood, and filth. Some doubt he was ever even a pro-hero. She's seen the word vigilante thrown around quite often. People outside the refugee camps seem to look to the Shrouded Rabbit as a savior of sorts, a silent hand that protects everyone but never reveals himself. It's scary. She's even seen some people online refer to him as an act from God. What honestly scares her, however, is that this all sounds exactly like the Izuku she knew. Reckless as ever, doing whatever he deems necessary to save people, even at the expense of his own life and sanity. He showed up in Yamanashi just a bit ago. Todoroki's voice filled the silence as he slowly enters the kitchen. They said he was last spotted flying into the wooded area around there. How many are joining us this time? She asks, knowing with each attempt fewer and fewer classmates found the will to keep trying. Just me, you, and Bakugo. The rest are injured or... Yeah. One of the few upsides to so few heroes being at UA, it's much easier to sneak out without anyone noticing. Even if they did notice, she doubts anyone who could would stop them. Nezu especially seems eager to get the remaining students out there helping people. Aizawa had been vocally against it the first few times, but after a while he too was called out to the war. They heard it was to help subdue Gigantomachia, though it was apparently unsuccessful. They haven't seen him return. The most they know is that he is alive, and honestly, at this point, that's enough. More and more lately, she has been coming back to the dorms and then immediately turning around and leaving. This time is no different, though hopefully the next time she walks through the gates, it'll be with her best friend in tow. You ready then? Bakugo is waiting by the barrier. Let's go. With that, they head off. Maybe this time it will be different. Maybe this time he'll come home. In the woods surrounding Yamanashi, a young and broken boy leans against a tree. His hair juts out from underneath his mask, and blood stains the green fabric which makes up his clothes. A broken child, nestling into a yellow scarf, biting down on its thicker fabric as he deals with his injuries. Ninth, you need to rest. Injuries take time to heal. The calming voice of Nana Shimura floods through his mind, but he ignores her pleading and focuses instead on wrapping the gauze around his bloody and torn arm. He winces as it squeezes, scabbed blood tearing away from his skin and staining the white bandage red. Pulling it tight, he deems his makeshift patch job good enough and stands up from the tree he had been leaning against. He takes note of his support gauntlets, torn and jutting out in places. Thankfully, they are still functional. Stretching out his arm, he mentally responds to his predecessor. I'll be fine. I need to keep moving. Please. Nana's voice is soothing. Don't push yourself beyond your limits. Izuku chooses not to respond, opting to instead nod and start walking back towards the edge of the forest. All for One is close. He can feel it, and that means Shigaraki is close as well. He doesn't have time to stop any longer. He can rest once he deals with them. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the content thus far. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to thank our patrons: BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Melees, Adam Zagel, XavBeat03, Zill, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I'd also like to thank all of our YouTube members: Toya Costa, Rob the King, Sith Lord 906, CF2364, and Knuckles, Rimueo Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Greer, and Rafiq135. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What Ifs channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, farewell, and have a wonderful day.